Okay, against my better judgment, it's time to beat Bloodborne. Some say this is the best Souls game of all time. We'll see about that. First, we wake up from the clinic. I don't know what kind of operation was conducted here, but I still have my clothes on. That's a good sign. Say hello to Jesus, the one we're gonna conquer this land with. We run past the nice dog, grab the vials, and enter the 30 FPS heaven. When I pull this lever to bring down the ladder, it turns out that this dog doesn't like me for some reason. I give them the old how do you do, climb up the ladder, and enter the Hunter's Dream. The Hunter's Dream is the hub area of the game where you can relax, talk to the charming NPCs, and do all sorts of leveling. Since I still have zero insight at this point, I cannot do the leveling. More on that later. As for weapon, I'm gonna pick the cleaver, the most classic weapon of the game. The choice for the pistol is irrelevant, since there is no question I'm gonna forget to use that thing. At this point, I'm just gonna use my souls for more blood vials and head back to Central Yharnam. Now when I have an actual weapon, I can take these guys' lives as for revenge what they tried to do to me last time. Also, the friendly doggo gets what's coming to him. It's time to explore this joyful land. The locals are eager to say hello to a new face, and together they run to greet me. First I release them from their duties and meet the big boss man downstairs. This guy truly is a tall order to handle, and he is quick to remind me that this is a Souls game after all. I go back for a second and get clapped again. Okay, we'll come back for that later. Also, the locals on this city really should pay attention to their hospitality. It turns out this is a night of a hunt, which I have no clue what that means. But hey, I never pay attention to the lore. Also, I have no clue how this guy has been just standing there waiting for me. Wait a minute. Am I playing Bloodborne Scholar of the First Sin? Oh, there's nothing like a Souls game experience. After killing 10 million enemies and the mandatory dog who's there for some reason, I find this big guy knocking on the door. While I'm trying to get the cinematic clip, he turns around, ready to mess me up. I do the good old runaway, sneak back tactic and give him a free shaving. On first glance, a lot of the Souls veterans playing this game would probably think this is an unlockable shortcut. But no sir, no. Thank God I at least found a proper way to handle the dogs. I walk up the stairs and find the bridge, and with that comes back a memory. Now I know we're close to the actual shortcut. Against my better judgment, I try to fight the dogs, but end up just running for my life. At least, finally, I get the shortcut opened. Then it's time to do some cleaning. I farm a few blood vials from the giants. In case you didn't know, those things won't respawn. You have to farm for those if you run out. And I realize I still have no insight, so I cannot do any leveling. Man, I gotta figure that out. I promise I wasn't using the internet. I was just meditating and going through my memories. After finally remembering where to go, it's time to head downstairs. I butcher the enemies, and here we are. Just clear out 2 of the rats, and you'll find your first madman's knowledge. With this item, you unlock all sorts of things in the game, but as for now, we only need 1 for the level ups. When I now return to the Hunter's Dream, we find this lovely lady. Ah, there we go. Feel much better now. Back to Yharnam, and with a few level ups you can totally see the difference. And so we head for our first boss. This is just an optional one, but we're gonna do it anyways. The Cleric Beast jumps down to the bridge ready to clap some ass, and if you could see something, this fight probably would be kinda great. It truly looks like that I'm playing with the Cleric Beast here. Bloodborne also has this really nice mechanic that if you get hit, you don't have to heal right away. You can storm in and counter attack, which allows you to gain health back. I really like this mechanic. It makes the gameplay so much more aggressive, and I like it. Also, if you're gonna fight Cleric Beast at the beginning of the game, make sure you bring a lot of molotovs. This fight is gonna take a while, I promise you that. Cleric Beast's moveset is truly just screaming and swinging. That's not the worst of them all. I take one last look at his miserable efforts and throw the last molotov, and so goes down the first boss. I was truly surprised that I was able to pull that off deathless. Next up, I decided to do quite a bit of farming for blood vials and souls, which included going back to the basement or whatever this place was called, fighting every enemy and collecting every item. Going up the ladder, I also unlocked this brand new shortcut. Don't you just love it when they do that? The very bottom is filled with these annoying enemies that jump on you if you're not careful, so make sure you handle them all. Also, these grows, they're just the best. Like the dogs weren't enough, I climbed the one last ladder, and there's the elevator. After fighting a literal army of homeless people in the bridge and dodging this fireball, I head downstairs again. I have to execute this kinda unfortunate enemy. Now I get it why they put an armor on it on Dark Souls 1. I collect the Saw Hunter's badge and go to do the last preparations before the boss fight. More levels, more vials, and we are off to fight the Father, the first mandatory boss of the game. The boss fights in Bloodborne are considered to be some of the best in the whole series, and with the little experience I have, I must concur. In my opinion, Father Gascoigne's design, moveset, and OST are all amazing, but the arena is complete shit. With the gameplay being so fast-paced and the enemies being so aggressive, you really don't want to get stuck on a gravestone here, so be mindful when you move around the arena. Father Gascoigne truly drops mad lines during this fight.
What's that smell? The sweet blood. Oh, it sings to me. enough to make a man sick.
Sorry father, that's not blood you're smelling, it's just the poop in my pants. You can also notice here that my left hand is completely empty. In my ignorance, I have just taken out the pistol completely since I'm not gonna use it anyways. In hindsight, this was a big mistake, since that's one of the core mechanics of the game. Anyways, after swinging for Father Gascoigne for long enough, he turns into a literal beast. I dodge one attack and run back in thinking I'm the shit, but quickly Father reminds me who owns this place. After getting abused by Father Gascoigne, I changed to a battle axe, since this has a proper two-hand mode. I figured that if I'm truly not gonna use the pistol, might as well get the left hand working for me as well. Father Gascoigne charges at me like my blood wasn't still wet on the ground, and he is giving out a vibe that he truly hates me for some reason. What did I ever do to you? After spin attacking Father Gascoigne into the second phase, it's go time again. Father Gascoigne's beast mode against my molotovs. Lucky for me, with the spinning attacks of this axe, I was able to get him to so low health that only 2 molotovs were enough. Father Gascoigne goes down, and so we unlock a new area, climb some more ladders, finally grab the workshop tool, and open goes another door. And after one cinematic door opening, we reach the Cathedral Ward. Totally pronounced that correctly. Now back in Hunter's Stream with the workshop tool, we are able to put these gems in our weapons. The gems can do all sorts of things which can lead to completely busted combos, but right now we're just looking for more damage. Testing out our new powers in the new area, I come across this new armor set. I'm not gonna lie, looking fine as hell. Also, thank god in Bloodborne you don't have to worry about equip load, since all of the armor weigh the same. A negative consequence of that is that I cannot poise max with a heavy armor set, and basically can get stun locked to death by everything. I pull this super secret lever and head down the now opened path, and open goes the door to old Yharnam. When entering to the area, some local hobo notices us and tells us to get fucked or get the hell out of here. This time I actually listen and go back to the previous area. I still have some unfinished business in here. This area is packed with all sorts of enemies I can gain blood vials from, and also these bloodstone shards allow you to reinforce your weapon. Now it's finally time to run past the place where the guy was warning us. Still, this being my first true playthrough, I make sure to grab every item I can see. Also, like this game wasn't hard enough, the enemies on this area can actually poison you to death. And the poison in this game, it's no joke. Look at my freaking health bar. And with this idiot shooting his minigun at me, that wasn't really helping the situation. I go upstairs to tell him to please stop. I'd much rather get stun locked into oblivion by these goddamn birds. Next try I am not messing around anymore. I have a fight of my lifetime against the poison meter and the 5,000 enemies in this area, and find this lovely thing downstairs. I also climb some ladders and unlock the shortcuts. Then again it was time to check from the internet where the hell do I need to go next. This was truly a recurring theme I didn't enjoy. Oh, look at that, the path was there all along. I'm so happy that I found the way. After hitting the most beautiful spinning attack on these dogs, I get jump scared into afterlife. I change my pants and go up this spiral staircase. Up here we'll find another shortcut. I think that the level design on this game and how the map connects is truly comparable to Dark Souls 1. We are still using the same lamp we found at the beginning of the area, and that lamp is gonna be the one where we make our run for this boss. I can see that the blood-starved beast is already waiting for me. This is surely gonna go great. I hit the spinning attack beautifully and legitimately think the beast is cooked. Instead she reminds me that she has poison attacks as well, and me having the antidote hidden in my inventory, that's not really a good combination against the boss with fast attacks. The beast laughs at my pathetic attacks and sucks me dry in the worst possible way. Since I still haven't recovered what this boss did to me the first time I played this game, I redeem my right to use the summons. Come at me. Together we storm the beast like we've never done before, and come to the conclusion that during boss fights like these, you really hope that the game's frame rate would be higher. And look at that, I still hadn't put on the antidote on my belt. Burn in hell, you cursed beast. During the end of the fight, Alfred finally goes down, but I'm able to finish off the last bit of health from the beast alone. Yay me, good job. After killing the beast, I can now go get one of the better swords in the whole game. This is truly the first time I'm gonna finish this game altogether, so I think it's okay that I use a tryhard build. But surely on the way to get the sword, I take a wrong turn and lose all my souls. I try to go get them back, but they are nowhere to be found, so I accidentally end up clearing out this new part of the area. After the previous incident, I sure do need the souls. On top of that, I go back in and immediately get gangbanged by these homeless people. And after dying to these peasants again, my sanity was starting to be on the edge. My plan was that after I get the sword, I'm gonna take a little break and make some coffee, but these sort of incidents were just putting it off. When I bust out the throwing knives, you always know that I'm in good place mentally. Finally, I open the chest and collect the badge. Now we just need to collect 20,000 souls. That's no biggie. After a shit ton of grinding, I pop the last cold blood and finally buy the Ludwig's Holy Blade. This weapon is truly one of the better ones in the whole game, so I wanted to get it as early as possible. Even though the grind was absolutely horrible, we are now set up for the whole game. Yeah, I think we're good now. With this new weapon in hand, I decide to venture onto new lands. I come across these two NPC dudes who turn out to be much harder battle than I anticipated. We are literally in the previous area when I finally finish the fight. I go back in, only to find this big ass dude again who absolutely abuses me to death. I even try to go back for vengeance, but I don't even get a chance when I get murdered by this guy instead. But to my surprise, instead of waking up from a lamp, I get greeted by this cutscene instead. Seriously, I have no clue what happened there, but I guess I'll just go with the flow. This new place is filled up with these screaming enemies. And these other ones who have just given up trying altogether. Ah yes, another spiral staircase. Wonder where do I go next? Only 10 options to choose from. Eventually I gain the courage to go upstairs, where I find a lamp which allows me to finally get the hell out of this place. Continuing the main line, I come across this graveyard, which turns out to be someone's private property in America. In this place there's more weapons than in an NRA Christmas party, but enough hacking and slashing I can finally move on. Seeing the name of the next area reminds me what we're heading towards. After almost getting double teamed to death, I take care of business and come across this beautiful elevator. That is one beautiful shortcut indeed. I come across this big dude next to a big house, and inside waiting for me is a perfect thank you Dark Souls moment. After that incident there's only this monstrous area to clear out, after which you can finally get the gate opened. When I turn around, I actually recognize the place and I know exactly where to go. How nice. Unfortunately, all of that satisfaction now melts away when I need to face the witches of Hemwick. If someone dares to say that this boss fight is good, your opinion is just wrong. It's plain wrong. Spawning in a horde of common mobs and just slapping a boss health bar on it doesn't really equal a great experience as for boss fights go. So get ready to run around the arena locating this invisible bug and slapping the shit out of it. Also get ready to endure mild boredom when another health bar appears. The only satisfying part about this fight is the witch's screams when it finally dies. Next up, back to Yahar'gul's unseen village. Right away we are greeted with one of these pigs I wish were armored, and another pack of enemies which make me wanna quit the game. Luckily this is nothing a holy blade cannot handle. After coming out of the asshole of the mountain, I recognize the place right away. The Darkbeast welcomes us with a friendly hello, and the John Cena you can't see me party can begin. I don't know if I'm just shit, but even with the summon, this fight still felt hard, and I was scared for my life. For several minutes I keep running around the arena, getting one shot in every now and then, and he returning the favor right away. This fight was truly electric. Finally I get the stun and the fight is over. Sorry, just one more slash. And since I've been using summons for the optional bosses, I decide to go face Vicar Amelia completely solo. This cool cutscene reveals us the boss. That's a cool design. Please be gentle. Amelia screams and I bust out the flames. I don't get what happened here. The last time I played this game, Vicar Amelia was one of the last bosses I beat, and she or he nearly broke me. But now it felt easy. And it's not like I was majorly over-leveled for this fight. I don't know what happened there, but I'm not complaining about it. When I get the heavy attack in and the stun as a reward, I know it's over. I know it's over. This is just busted. It was indeed over. See ya later, thanks for coming. Next up we have Forbidden Woods, which is accurately named, since it should be forbidden to create a place like this. The early area ain't so bad, it's just your normal stuff, but towards the end you're gonna see some stuff that fuels nightmares. Although you can kill dogs which cannot do anything about it here. That kinda evens it out. Right next to the cages, there is also a secret path in here. Subscribe if you didn't know about this. Going through this poisonous land gains you access to this familiar place. From here you can head up to the roof, and what do you know? Back to the clinic. In here you'll find this lovely lady, and one excessively long NPC fight later, this random item is now yours. Back to Forbidden Woods, it's time to continue your war against the locals. Also, if you go through here, watch out for this goddamn motherfucking cannon. Thank you for that, I really appreciate it. When I turn this corner, there is a lovely sight for tired eyes. Upstairs there is this random NPC I decide to aggro for some reason, and when he turns out to be a hard fight, I use the good old Dark Souls elevator tactic. Also, here is some of that nightmare fuel I was talking about earlier. That wasn't enough, here's some more. Oh, would you look at that, the final boss. Fighting these enemies just begs the question, who, why, and what for. After fighting 10 million snakes, I come across this lake thingy, or whatever this is. All I know that the way to the boss should be around here, but of course I take a wrong turn, and now I have to face these magic smurfs on crack. When all of that buffoonery is over, I go for one last trip to the Hunter's Nightmare, and head for the area's boss fight. This fight completely terrorized me last time, and I was legitimately legitimately scared that I would get stuck here again. I didn't even remember which one should I take out first, which made things significantly harder. The fire dude was the most annoying one, so I decided to go for him first. Although I gave this guy a few smacks when I got the chance. After going around the arena for way too long, I finally commit to an attack and get the one down. Now I only have these two buffoons to work with. I hit an absolutely massive combo on the other one, after which I just back away and take my time. He is sure quick to return the favor. I kid you not, if I would show this fight to you uncut, you would probably fall asleep. That is how long this took. That is how cautious I was. Finally the second one goes down as well, and it's time for the final phase. The final phase of this fight can just choke on a horse's dick. Thank God for the Ludwig's greatsword in two hands. That really came in clutch. After escaping the snakes for one last time, I get him to one hit. And it's over. I know it. I patiently wait for an opening and decide to take my final swing in the worst possible moment. Good job, but I'm just happy that the fight is over. Thank God. Next up, we have the most disgusting place in the history of video games. Seriously, all of the enemies in this area should be burned and buried. Knowing what this guy becomes, I make sure to make quick work of him. That is cool and all, but no matter the preparation, eventually this area just fucks you in the ass. I don't know whether I should beg for my life or beg for answers to what the hell this thing is. Thank God I get to the shortcut. Inside I come across this NPC and we have a battle of our lifetimes. Yet again, judging by the location of this fight, you can just tell how much trouble I had here. Back to the dream, more levels, and we are after the boss fight. When you drop down to the water, you can see this miserable blob just sitting there, doing nothing. Once you poke it with a stick, all of the spawns of Satan will appear, so get ready to spam that attack button. So make sure to bust out your flame. The tactic for this boss fight is truly simple. Ignore all the spiders and just attack the big one. Also be prepared to be patient when the boss spider decides to spam you with hordes of magical attacks. These are the true challenge in the fight. Okay, I take one back. Maybe you can kill a few of the small spiders. Things are getting kinda crowded here. Many times you will just drift king your way in, but still land no shots since there are no openings. Eventually you just gotta be brave and go for it. Look at that, prey slaughtered, 0 deaths. After defeating the spider, I finally have to head back to this cursed place. I'm not gonna show a ton of gameplay about this area, but if you watch this scene right here, you kinda get the full picture. Eventually I come across this completely busted beast. Once I get it down and kill this hobo as well, I am rewarded with Blood Gem 5. Holy shit, isn't that kinda good? I guess we'll see about that later. It's time for the boss. The One Reborn appears, and I'm thinking maybe he just should have stayed dead. It's still mind-boggling that some actual human has come up with this design. Since this is not my first rodeo, straight away at the beginning of the fight, I head upstairs. Because you wanna handle these guys first. These are a pain in the ass if you keep them alive. Once they are dead, it's fighting time, and it's the usual recipe. Bust out the flame, start wailing. I still have no clue what the One Reborn's moveset even is. He just kicks like a crazy person in pain, and occasionally some shit fall on you. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, look at this beautiful gameplay. Eventually I just hold my breath and go inside him to finish the job. Also, that new gem is bloody nice. 18% on physical attack. Jesus Christ. Put that on there. I think this new attack power I got will be absolutely necessary in the next place I'm heading to. I take a long ride on the carriage and finally arrive to this cursed place. Don't get me wrong, I do love the snow and the castle, but... Jesus Christ. And of course the first order of business here, since I haven't died to last two bosses, I make sure to die to these worms. Thank God for the increased attack power. Now this place shouldn't be too bad. Last time I was here I almost lost my sanity, so this was kind of a stretch to come here again, since this is completely optional area. But hey, I gotta do it. In the end, there's one of the better and hardest bosses in the whole game. Knowing where to go, it doesn't take me long to clear out the castle, loot the goodies, and unlock the elevator. It's time to head to the roof and start the massive journey to Logarius. Please, Mr. Logarius, be gentle. Don't do to me what you did to me last time. I run in without fear and immediately get blasted off to the afterlife. Great job. And oh yeah, here are the key points about the boss run to Logarius. Take this long ass elevator, beautifully run past these enemies, climb this ladder while getting hit, up the stairs and across the roof, jump down, try not to fall and jump down again, up these ladders, and look at that, it's right there. I personally don't even have a problem with long boss runs. The only issue I have with this is the fact that you need to heal during the boss run. That's so ridiculous. You cannot even reach the boss on full health. The next try goes way better since I remember the moves and trust the stunning abilities of the sword. Once the second phase begins, I know that the real challenge begins now. On the second phase, Martyr becomes much faster and more aggressive, so look out, brother. He also gains this most annoying attack of all time, where he sticks his dildo to the ground, which then shoots arrows. Yeah, that's great. Just make sure to destroy that right away when you get the chance. Don't worry, if you thought that was over too fast, he makes sure to spam this attack every chance he gets. Of course, when I get Logarius to one hit, I make sure to panic roll when I cannot see anything and get killed. There's nothing like making that boss run again, but still I head back to the boss fight feeling confident. That was only my second try and I almost got him, so this has to be the one. And the one it was indeed. After baiting his attacks and hiding behind pillars, I watch him swing for one last time and then return to favor, and the fight is over. Thank you from soft gods. Okay, now we have the area which made me quit the game last time, so it's coming in hot. Jesus fucking Christ. Where's the flamethrower when you need one? Also, this boring ass enemies can go to hell. I'm glad that's over. Seriously, there was nothing to see there. There is nothing like crowning a boring ass area with the most boring boss of the whole game. With Micolash, get ready to run around and kill common mobs. In the first part of the actual fight, just make sure to stun lock him, dodge his worm attack and repeat. Eventually his health bar disappears and at that point you know he's gonna teleport away. Let's get ready to run. In the next part, you just run after him, almost catching him, but surely he runs away and closes the door right in front of your face. Eventually running around for 10 minutes trying to find your way to the boss room, you can drop down and enjoy the satisfaction of killing him. Just make sure to watch out for this goddamn magic attack. It'll drain your health. Once the fight is over, I still give him a few swings just to be sure. Mikolash's smartwatch doesn't detect the heartbeat anymore and the bridge comes up and the gate opens. With this cool new hat, I decide to head to Upper Cathedral Ward. Unfortunately, that means returning to this cursed place. Within here lies the key I need. The experts on the internet said that this is one of the hardest places in the whole game, but we'll see about that. But it turns out we are not gonna see about that, since this place is darker than my jokes when I'm drunk. No better place to fill with fast and overpowered enemies. There's nothing like getting stuck and helplessly getting sucked dry by this monster. I'm just glad that the area's boss is a complete joke. Kill the little ones, the big one spawns, slaughter the big one. Also, after the boss fight, if you break this window, you can head down the elevator and find another beautiful optional boss. The daughter of Cosmos's magic attacks hit like a truck, so get ready to be absolutely pummeled a couple of times before eventually caving in and losing your dignity and using a summon for this fight as well. Since we are heading towards the end of the game and this was 100% optional boss, I feel no guilt. Next up, I take the elevator up, head up the stairs, and the wet nurse appears. The wet nurse has bought all the knives from IKEA and is sure putting them all to good use. And since those knives weren't enough, she makes sure to spawn another clone of herself to double the odds. This fight took almost 7 minutes and I cannot remember the last time I lasted that long. This is truly a new record. Eventually I had to finish the job. Talk about finishing the job, it's time for the final boss. The final boss is conveniently located in the Hunter's Stream in this beautiful, beautiful garden. After talking to this old man in a wheelchair, he will give you an option: refuse or submit your life. Since we didn't come all this way to submit, there's only one option. The old man gets super mad and says fuck you, and the cinematic fight busts out his weapons and the fight is on. It turns out that the whole wheelchair thing was a complete scam, since he reveals to be one of the fastest bosses in the whole game. The first try ends as you would expect, as does the second one. This guy is just goddamn too quick. You seriously know that I'm desperate when I bust out the pistol and one-hand my sword. That's a rare sight. And talk about surprising things. Oh yeah, now I got it. That's satisfying. When I hit a second one as well, I'm starting to wonder if I should have used this pistol for the entire game. But hey, there's no looking back now. Just don't get greedy. That's kinda greedy. That's really greedy. You really should get out of there. I hack and slash like there's no tomorrow and slowly, really slowly drain his health bar. Eventually I get him to one hit and then he gets the stun. Here's what happened. There he goes down. Oh, the satisfaction was real. That was a proper fight. After the fight, this normal looking thing lands from the moon, grabs me like my uncle used to, and sucks me dry. Seriously, I have no clue what's going on here. After that shocking incident, I'm now the crazy guy in a wheelchair, which is ironic since that is exactly what I need after this playthrough. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.
And so, the hunt begins again.